Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, 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 hey. Ha.
I'm your host, Miss Toya. I'm in the building, and it's hot.
Bad boy.
Shout out to Vegas.
Bad boy.
We keep it 100. 115.
Stevie J, Mary Faith.
Woo!
I'm kind of sad about that.
And
You still sad?
I'm kind of sad about that. Still sad.
Got a
video. Lightweight kiddie porn.
Yeah.
Site.
Fame horse.
I seen the video.
Fame horse. Welcome to In Your Ear Radio. Hi, I am your host, Miss Toya. Thank you for tuning in to In Your Ear Radio. I'm so happy to be with you. You know I love y'all if I'm coming out here in this heat, because my car don't even want to act right. I'm telling you, my car still smells new. It's like it's hot. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody said this can't be the same song our ancestors picked cotton in.
Hell to the no.
It is, though. It was worse because it was humid.
We got that super DNA. I'm just telling you.com. So that's why I'm here. I love y'all. Shout out to my day one crew, chilling with Miss Trish. How you over there?
What up?
I know you struggling.
I miss y'all.
Seems like I never tell you that. Yeah, I miss you.
Damn it.
You know you always miss. Yeah. S to the Izzo.
What up?
How you doing?
Sad.
Oh God. She's sad about
Faith.
Sad about Faith and that softcore porn video that they got.
Yeah. Ain't that something? Listen, do what you gotta do to get what you gotta get.
I mean, I'm happy for them. They happy. They happy. I'm happy. But I'm like, wait, hurt. I'll get over it.
Yeah, I had an awesome weekend. Shout out to my mama's second daughter who just dragged me all over the city.
Not her sister. Her mama's second.
Right, I caught that one.
You know, I got so many sisters. You know, they're gonna be like, "Who? That's your sister?" But yeah, just to be specific. Yeah. Listen, what did I not do? I went to a fundraiser last night, and that was really awesome. And it was to raise money for kids, and I don't have a lot of information in front of me, but I just really want to just highlight the experience because, you know, it made me feel inspired to be at an event where someone is pulling together their resources to raise money for kids. And these kids were traveling. They were the So You Think You Can Dance crew or something, and they're traveling, and they just need money. They want to get them there. They have the talent. People want to see them, and they just want to, you know, get enough money so that these kids can, you know, go and compete. You know, so everybody donated their services. I love stuff like that. So that was awesome. Huh?
Where was it at?
It was at, let me rewind the tape. It was Northwest.
Okay.
I don't remember anything right now. I'm telling you, this is how my night went. But anyways, enough about me. I just want you guys to know that we got a lot to discuss today, okay? There's a lot going on. We're going to really dig deep and do what we do in our second hour. But in the first hour, we're going to have
before we get started, can I point out that this was not planned, and all three of us have our In Your Ear Radio shirts on. That means
we all
the
showed up
chemistry,
like this.
the connection, everything is there. So,
and Trish,
you know,
I was walking in and I saw a feather and I thought of you, and the
Did
birds
you?
were flying by.
Yes, I see them everywhere I go. Everywhere
That's
I go.
why I thought of you, because you like I always see feathers. So I took it as a positive sign. I really did. So yeah, ain't that something, y'all? We all have. Yeah. That's really something. You know, I always say
family.
And I don't mind acknowledging, you know, when I get affirmations, because sometimes I do get discouraged and like, no, you know, I don't want to be telling people my sad stories. I'd rather laugh. But you know, you have affirmations, things. I mean, you know, stuff like this to somebody is a little thing, but I mean, come on, those are signs that it's time to just keep going and, you know, just roll with the thick. Yeah. And so I'm appreciative of that in many ways. So yeah, we're gonna have a nutritionist on that's going to help us unsort a lot of things with our health and kind of just give us alternatives, open our eyes or wake up and see what's around us, what's happening, why people are feeling the way they're feeling. What does it mean? When you go to the doctor, what are they really telling you?
Yeah.
Are you asking the questions you need to ask? And are you over medicating yourself? I mean, you know, it's those things, questions I think we should ask ourselves, just because, you know, a lot of us are suffering from a lot of things, and we take these medications, and the medications don't make us better. It just kind of just gets us through stuff. But we got to actually get to the point where we can ask ourselves, why are we even having this experience? And they always coming up with new names for stuff. But enough on my rant, okay? I do just want to say that I wanted to give a shout out. I surely did. I wanted to mention NACA, N-A-C-A. They have a program for home buyers. Someone who has never bought a home before, someone who was a previous homeowner. And what it is they offer no closing cost fees, below market interest rates, not so perfect credit, okay, no down payments, and basically today and tomorrow, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. today and tomorrow, they're going to have a workshop, and you can get approved on the spot, basically. So basically, when you go in, bring in your pay stubs for 30 days, your W-2 forms for 2 years, your bank statements for 90 days, a credit card statement for 90 days, and they'll be able to set you up right there. So it's a cool thing. I know a couple of people that I know that went through the program, and I'm just so, it makes me feel warm and fuzzy, especially when I see women becoming homeowners. Like, I know the feelings. I always dreamed of that at 18. I thought, buy me a house, I picked the area. I didn't end up moving in that area, but I had a dream to have a white house and a picket fence. So I know the feeling. It feels really warm and fuzzy. So NACA, it's at the Tropicana, you guys. What's the address here? So it's on, it's in the Cohiba Ballroom, 3801 Las Vegas Boulevard South. So Las Vegas Boulevard South, Tropicana Hotel inside the Cohiba Ballroom. All right. I want to welcome a very special guest. I want to really just thank him and appreciate, and I'm very appreciative of you coming today. Nutritionist Price. I want to say nutritionist Dr. Price, but because, you know, I'm just happy to have you here, but everything that you're going to talk about today just really excites me. I know you were here just briefly last time and unexpectedly, but it was nice to have you here. And we, you know, people were really excited about the conversation. And they were like, well, you guys need to have him back on, you know, because, you know, we have more questions. And a lot of the things that we talked about are some of the questions that people have. People dealing with, you know, autoimmune diseases, diabetes, high blood pressure, what else? Cancer. Cancer is a big thing now. Who doesn't know somebody that doesn't have cancer? Just so many things. So I'm so glad that you accepted my invitation to come back.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
You doing good? Yeah. You always dapper.
Thank you.
Okay. Look at you. Okay. I see you. All right. So yeah, let's just get into it. I know you burning up out there though. It's hot as ever.
I'm trying to adjust to this weather.
Yeah. It's hot as ever out there.
I'm gonna just ruin it for you. You never adjust to this weather.
Yeah, no. We never get used to it.
That happens.
Yeah. Okay, so I had a few key points that I wanted to focus on today and talk about.
Okay.
One of them was disease. Disease. I know a lot of people have questions about disease, so I wanted us to kind of dig into that and go over that. Also, I wanted to talk about healthy habits. I think even though we talk about the ailments and the problems we have and how to treat it, but how can we prevent it or at least reverse it? I don't know. Some things you can reverse. And I want to talk about the healthcare industry. So we got a lot to talk about. We're going to get in.
Let's chop away at it one at a time.
Yes. And so I want to just let you guys know that are watching Facebook Live that if you do have questions about diabetes, any autoimmune diseases, cancer, even women, I know that you spoke on black women specifically having a higher STD rate than others, which I didn't know that.
Really?
Yes.
I was like, wow.
I'm interested to know the answer to that.
Yeah.
As to why.
Well, I have the answers.
Okay. I'm all ears.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me, Latoya. Thank you. And to the listening audience, my name is Dr. Lamar Price, and I am well known as a nutritionist health coach. And my thought and everything that I speak about categorically is always going to be fact-based.
Yeah.
I keep it spiritual-based. I am a spiritual person, and so is most human beings. Mm-hmm. And by nature, down to a cellular level, we are mind, body, soul, and spirit. So people will always tie in spirituality when it comes to health and health issues. Many people will look to God or look to a higher power source for healing through meditation and so forth. So on different religions, different types of lifestyles coincide with that. But here in the general population in America, in the black community, and I really want to focus on the black community, even though this is an American issue, it's a worldwide issue, disease is a big topic. Disease is basically exactly what it is. Dis-ease. Your body is in dis-easement. Yeah. Now your body can be in easement or it can be in dis-easement, which is not easement. And if you think about the whiz, ease on down the road, don't you carry nothing? That
don't
might
say dis-ease on down the road.
Right, exactly. Don't say dis-ease on down. It says ease on down. So your body wants to be in what is known as harmony or homeostasis. And so when your body is running smoothly, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that's, if you tie in religion or a spiritual concept, it's to be made whole.
Yeah.
And it has a lot to do with wholeness. Healthy is to be whole, and whole is to be actually sanctified. It's actually a way of your body physically being separated from things that are unnatural.
Yeah.
And that's where you tie in holiness lifestyles. So being healthy is a lifestyle. And disease has a source. And I teach and educate people, and I feel that all physicians should do this. I feel that all doctors, all nurses, and everyone in the medical field should teach this. And in my line of work, what I do, it's not only just a health conscious world that I'm trying to approach and reach. I'm trying to be passionate about a mission. And it's a ministry, because people are dying, people are sick, people are unhealthy, and it goes back to one source: a lack of knowledge. I believe and agree with the wisest man, Solomon. He made a quote that in everything you do, get an understanding. In all that you do, get an understanding. The problem in the medical world, and I'm not doing something with this called condemning the antecedent. I don't want to condemn the medical world, right, or doctors or nurses. I'm not here to do that, because we need doctors, we need nurses. I tell people in a minute, in a heartbeat, you have a problem and it's serious, dial 911. Yeah. Get to your health physicians, get to a medical facility. You know, thanks to modern technology, we are being helped for traumatic, injuries and health issues, but just general health. When you go to the doctors and you want to get a physical, you want to get a checkup, you want to see how you're doing physically according to the American standard. This is where I have a problem. I am condemning the system. Okay. The medical system is broken.
And you talked about the medical system. I'm just going to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
I'm going to ask you a question, because you were talking about the wholeness and how our body just wants us to be whole and at ease. And I know when you were talking about the medical facilities, how they come into play. I'm thinking about orthodox medicine, because that's kind of part of what they do. Them knowing that we seek holiness, they give us that to us in a medicine, like a holiness medicine format, some type of interpret.
So, and that goes in line with, exactly, I'm glad you're breaking it up, but that goes in line with what I'm saying. The medical system is governed by a systematic entity that rules, it oversees. And you used the word orthodox. Orthodox medicine. Now you're talking something spiritual, religious. It's a pattern. It's a formalism. It's a way of thinking. It's a thought. So the thought and the process of health is that if you have a symptom, we're going to classify that symptom and we will give it a name. And with that type of diagnosis, we have medication to go with that, whether it be in high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, vitamin or mineral deficiency, whether it's pain. And any of the categories dealing with disease or diseasement of the body, they'll never identify the source. And that's the problem with the system. If you have a problem, you want to solve it, you have to identify the source of the problem, the issue. And that's where the Word of God says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. So now we're targeting a certain group of people. And let's just say people of color. Because in the communities of America, and I've traveled across the states, across the nations throughout the weeks and months, I'm constantly traveling. So I get to see firsthand what's going on in the backwoods, back in the trenches, back in the lower income neighborhoods, in parts of America that you don't even know exist. They're not even really on the map. They're not on the grid. Rural areas where there are communities of people who are morbidly overweight. There are a community of people who are uneducated. They know nothing about their health.
And there's no hospitals over anywhere, doctor facilities.
Right. They got small little medical clinics and facilities. And then when you get into the cities, which could be an hour drive or so forth, then you're dealing with modern healthcare. And the problem with the system is they're not giving us an understanding. When we hear the word cancer, when we hear high blood pressure, we hear diabetes, we hear cholesterol, lupus, we hear autoimmune deficiencies, herpes, AIDS, chlamydia, you name it. When you hear such terms as renal failure, they're not dissecting and helping us as a patient to understand what are you really talking about. Because keep in mind, these are terms. These are names. This is just verbiage.
Yeah.
On a cellular level, do you really think your heart knows what high blood pressure is? On a cellular level, does your brain cells know what bipolar is?
Yeah.
On a cellular level, you got 14 pints of blood that make up who you are. Your life is your blood. Your life is your blood.
Yeah.
Your blood is your life.
Okay.
The very first thing they're going to do in the medical system is draw blood. After they do your assessment, check your BMI, they're going to, you know, check your blood pressure.
Yeah.
They're going to do a couple of series of tests, and then they really want to see that blood,
Yeah.
because the blood answers everything. Now, when they run your blood through panels, RNA, and they run it through this little Methodox system,
Yeah.
they come out with a printout, and then they're going to say you're low, you're out of range, you're not in the average numbers. But what they're not educating the black community is that no clinical studies are done on this particular group of people, which is a problem. Because if all clinical studies in America are conducted on the Caucasian man, which they are, and all we have to do is study to show ourselves approved, then you're going to think as an individual, can I approve cancer? Can I really approve that I'm diabetic? Can I even approve this message that I have now been transformed and my name has been taken away from me, my identity has been taken, I'm no longer more than a conqueror, I'm no longer a woman of valor, or
That's
and
why
I'm
they
no
denied it. They rebuked them.
Exactly. They used to say, I don't receive it. But in our generation, we are receiving information, we're downloading and processing, and this seed is being planted in our head, and then we water it by saying, I am diabetic.
Yeah.
I am high
So
blood
it
pressure.
grows in us.
I get calls every day.
Yeah.
Every day somebody says, I suffer with high blood pressure. Well, you are? What's your symptoms? Well, I'm tired, low energy, I have fatigue, my poor blood circulation,
Yeah.
I'm dizzy. I get that all the time.
Yeah.
But let's break this down. Does your heart have anything to do with these symptoms? I suffer with diabetes. My feet hurt. I got gout, neuropathy, gangrene. I got to get my toe cut off. We're talking about the pancreas.
Well, I do
Does
know
the
that people
pancreas
that
have
do
to do with
suffer
that?
heart attacks, I mean, that suffer heart attacks have high blood pressure issues.
Okay,
So
let's
it
break
seems
that
to be
down.
intertwined.
So let's talk about disease. We'll go at it one at a time. And I
Okay.
can give you a platform of how this works.
Okay.
Because in America, we are today, it goes back to what I'm talking about right here. Today, we are 20.7 trillion deficit. We are in trouble financially.
Okay.
We have a debt because of wars, tax cuts, and incentives and packages on debt relief on many big
People
corporations.
pad in their pockets.
Exactly. So the agenda for every administration at the top is going to be healthcare.
Okay.
Because there's really no money in everybody being healthy. The money is people being sick.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yep.
So the more unhealthy people we have, then guess what? You're going to visit your facilities for medicine. When you go to the doctor and you deal with a symptom, this is an American issue. You travel to countries around the world. You can visit 80 countries. Visit 80 countries and see if you can find diabetes. See if you can find somebody checking their sugar levels or checking their blood pressure. Go to countries and see in other countries, even in third world countries, Cuba, the 5th healthiest country in the world, Cuba, the 5th
Highly
healthiest.
educated.
It puts
Everybody's
America at 160 healthiest. We're at the bottom. Think about, why are we so unhealthy with all of our modern technology, all of what we can do? Facebook Live, we created all of this. We created technology. We have a superpower nation with technology, but we can't figure out cancer. We can't figure out high blood pressure. We can't figure out diabetes. The money that they're making on this goes back to the pharmaceuticals.
Yes.
Pharmaceuticals.
Now
You're thinking about it.
When you're giving that donation to find a cure for breast cancer, let's just say,
Billions of dollars.
they're giving this to scientists to make up stuff in labs that are going to, go into your body and cause you to hopefully be cured of.
But
So
they're
you're
looking
putting it
for a
back
cure,
into the
right?
pharmaceuticals.
They're searching for a cure, right?
Right.
They're looking for a cure. For how
But the
long have they been
pharmaceutical
looking for this cure?
company is making
Forever,
money.
right? So if you think about it, billions of dollars are going into research and science and study for disease to help America to get better and live healthier lives, to battle disease. Not to say that there's cures or no cures, we won't even go there. But the fact of the matter is that you're making all this money on research, but your cell phone can turn your house lights on.
Right.
Your cell phone
They're not
can turn your
trying
alarm
to-
system, your car.
They're
Say it
not
again.
trying to get a cure for anything.
There's no money in
Because they
it.
about that
Jerry
eugenics.
Lewis came and
Jerry
gone,
Lewis,
and we still don't have a
For Down syndrome,
cure
NBA,
for, you
and
know.
autism.
I know
And-
you mentioned to me that Down syndrome came into society, American society in 1920.
1927. And the Germans
1927.
had, what they were doing was they were doing something, it's kind of like nanotechnology and stem cell research. They could actually tap into your blood cells down to the nucleus of your blood cells. See, blood is DNA, and that's nucleic acid. So down to the cellular level, to the chromosomal level, there are codes in blood cells. And the chromosomes, if you take an essential mineral like zinc out of that chromosome and you implant it into another woman of a different race, and that chromosome came from a Mongoloid, the Mongolians, you take it from the Mongolians and you inject it into a Jewish person who was used for test subject, and then they have a baby and the baby comes out looking like Mongolians. Their brain is not quite right, but they can line up, they can dissect, they can analytical function. Analytically, they can function because Mongolian people are very analytical people. So you get these traits. But then why, it doesn't matter if you're Caucasian, Asian, Latino, Hispanic, Black, all Down syndromes have this certain look. Because it's the essential mineral that came off the chromosome from 1927. They figured this out. So when they started figuring out you could gene splice, you can mess with cells, you can manipulate, you can genetically modify, all of this technology was introduced to us. So the more blood that they take from us, why do they take vials of blood? Because they're charging you a lot of money on your billing of the medical. They bill you medical for vials of blood. Have you ever seen First 48? Forensics? They find a drop of blood at a crime scene, tell you the whole story. They got everything from a drop of blood. But why are you taking all this blood for me? And then you just told me to come back next week and 2 more weeks to get more blood. What are you doing with my blood? Can you please answer this question? Black don't crack. That's our blood. Our blood is coded to our skin cells. Skin cells regenerate every day. Blood cells regenerate every 90 days. We get all new blood cells. That is a key factor that all people need to know. In the Black community, if we can educate people that our blood cells regenerate every 90 days, which is 3 months, you get all new 14 pints of blood. Where did they find the disease? Cancer, AIDS. Where did they find all of these problems? In your blood. Blood is 92% water, H2O. Oxygen is very important. That's where we get the word alkaline from. So if we can educate and bring conscious back to our community, let's get alkaline, because gradually over time it starts, like I said, with the money. Follow the money. Healthcare, big agenda. It goes back to the pharmaceuticals who have to give a profit of their revenue and trend back to the government who controls the food. They control the drugs. FDA, you want to talk about disease, talk about FDA. Food and Drug Administration, there's your answer, because they control the food, that they allow chemicals in the name of processing, of additives, preservatives, but they don't tell you, because we don't study to show ourselves approved. We just bought something that says all natural, 100% organic, but then when you read on the back of the label, because you don't know that there are laws, there are acts, there are bills that are signed right in Congress that says, this law says you can put whatever you want on the label, but the label act says on the back, put this. Corn syrup, starch, fructose, sucrose, sucralose, high, medium, low, and large, in between, high, whatever, fat, skinny, whatever you want to put.
And let's just pause right there, because I need to do a jumping jack.
Listen, I'm a lion. You unleash me, I'm about to go. I'm about to go.
And I think we got somebody on the line that has a question.
Let's take that question.
Okay, I'm Miss Toya. I'm in your ear, caller. What's on your mind? Can you hear us?
Caller, are you there? Caller.
Patience is a
going
virtue.
once, going twice. No.
See, good things come to those who wait. They had to wait.
I have a question for you about the alkaline water.
Alkaline water.
I'm very much into it. And somebody told me that if you drink all alkaline, that's a bad thing. Is that a bad thing? If I just always drink alkaline water?
Let's keep it simple.
Or do I need to balance this out?
I think we need to bring this to the platform for our community, and not just the Black community, but for everyone to know, because this is a big agenda. We're in a day of consciousness. That's what we're here to do. Wake people up. Let's get some answers. Everybody's pushing alkaline water. Everybody's pushing, you gotta be alkaline.
More than ever now.
You gotta be alkaline. Alkaline. You hear it everywhere. But is anyone taking a second to even break down alkaline? I study etymology. I study everything down to a science, because I want to get an understanding in everything. Is it safe to do alkaline? And what is alkaline? So alkaline comes from a word, it's actually Arabic, alkali or alkali. It's a basic. It's just basic. And what they're saying is they want your blood to basically be in a zone of a pH that's healthy. A healthy pH would be 7. According to who? Who created this number system of pH and acidic?
Right.
And, oh, if you're 4 and you're 5 and you're 6, you're acidic, and you're 7, 8s, and 9s, you're pH. I don't know where this system comes. Say it again.
Have some type of reference, right?
I tell people that no two people are the same on the planet. We got 7.1 billion people on the planet. If no two people are the same, and the creator of all living, whether you believe in God or not, I do, but the creator says, I'm not a respecter of person. So if he doesn't judge no two people the same, why do we have a system that says everybody needs to be a pH of right here? Because what's good for you may not be good for me. What's good for you may not be good for you. So everyone's different on a cellular level. No two people are the same down to the blood cell. So if your blood is H2O, which is water, blood is made up of 2 parts, hemoglobin, and we also know that word is plasma, and hemoglobin is just basically water. Can you all say hemoglobin is water?
Okay. Hemoglobin is water.
Okay, then the other part, this is, we gotta teach, we gotta educate, because the community needs to know this. The other part of your blood is platelets. They came up with this normal platelet count of 15. And they'll say the lower you get, then the closer to death you are, which is true, because we're warm-blooded animals.
Right.
Cold bodies are dead bodies. So when you are cold, you are unhealthy. When you are warm, you are healthy. The planet Earth is warm. Room temperature, our body temperatures, our mouth is 98 degrees. Why would we want to cool our bodies off? Because disease, negative energy, and acid, and anything that feeds on acid into the blood thrives in cold temperatures. That's why it's cold in flu season, not in summer, winter time. So with alkalinity, you know that you're alkaline when you feel good. When you're thinking smart, when you're thinking straight, when you have cognitive reasoning, when you have recollection, recall, your memory.
To me, you still breaking it down into a term we can understand. So how you're explaining it to me, I can understand, you know, why things are bad for me or why they're good, and how I can actually control my body with just eating right.
Eat right,
not putting
live
in processed foods and things like that into my body. And I know you talk about iridology. Just learning to say this word.
Iridology.
Iridology. For my listeners and for myself, can you explain to us what iridology is?
Yes, iridology is the study of the iris. The iris is the color part of your eyes. There's a dominating trait for chromosomes for eye color, skin color, your shape, your height, personality, and that's coded from mother and father. Now, in the codes of your dad and the codes of your mom and the chromosomes, you get 22 from mom, 22 from dad. One of them offers up a sex chromosome. There's eye color there. Very important for eye color. Eye color is a determining factor that you belong to a species or a race of people. And there's 2 dominating colors. There's blue, there's brown. And as a specialist in this field, I assure you there's 2 dominating colors, which is a trait down to the chromosome, blue and brown. They lead back to one source of people. Brown comes from one person, and that's a lineage of one bloodline. Blue is a lineage of one bloodline. Now, as people over time, from the dawn of time, from the Garden of Eden up until today, have mixed in, then you get different variations of colors. You got hazel, because blue and brown makes green. And then you got green and brown eyes and hazel, and you got all these different colors. But brown will always be a determining factor of real life, the real deal. Okay, so in the eye color, the eye is kind of like a dry erase board. Dry erase board. Your iris, the color of your eye, is an information panel. And the information panel means the brain records everything that's ever happened to you from birth, from the time the sperm meets the egg, and the first part of the brain that starts the development in the nervous system is the pineal gland. That's the recording system right there. It puts the information right in the color of your eyes. So when I look in people's eyes as an iridologist, I'm studying the patterns, the markers that the brain uses, because the brain doesn't know how to write the word cancer. The brain doesn't know how to write C-A-N-C-E-R, which is basically a word, which we're referring to the lymphatic system, the white cells. So when I look into the body or your eyes, I'm not looking for cancer. I'm looking for what's going on in the lymphatic system, and the brain will record the information, and it's perfect, it's accurate, and you don't have to tell me what's wrong with you. I will tell you what's wrong with you, because a physician should tell the patient what's wrong. Time out for us going to these doctors, say my stomach hurt, and the doctor says, well, I'm a gastroenterologist, but I really don't know what's wrong with you. Let me run a couple of $1,000 test. This
I
test,
definitely want you to tell us more about what's wrong with us. I'm going to take this call, and we're going to take a quick break. I'm Miss Toya, I'm in your ear caller. What's on your mind?
What's going Alkaline. It's Jimmy Day One up in here.
Okay, what's up, Jimmy? How you doing?
His talk after the show the last time, so I'm hearing all this again for the second time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make something known. I go to a VA doctor, and I came at him like Dr. Price. They got quiet.
Oh, wow.
I could even come in the room and say, "Hey, how you doing?" She said, "Who told you to get off your meds?" I said, "Only you." "Oh, wait a minute. You don't see it in my blood." But I'm standing right here in front of you talking. They wanted to call the ambulance. Somebody couldn't get the person down and all that kind of stuff. I said, "Wait a minute. If I don't feel that, how you never got that?" You know, trying to run all this pure regimen game on me. You know, the dope man got my address. It just showed up in the mailbox for me. And I told her, I said, "Look, I got this. I'm all right. I was here talking right before you because I've been doing everything you've been saying, Dr. Price. You know, I want to raise an offering, so you just don't take the curse jar money right there. You know, that's your offering because you're bringing this good knowledge."
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everybody right here, and I've been running game on a lot of people giving out your card, letting them know if they've been calling you, but I've been doing everything you said. I'm 19 pounds down and continuing.
Nice, congrats.
That's basically doing what you said. Like you said, everything is from the earth, nature. I even run that egg game on people. The yolk is the best part of the egg. It has sulfur.
Yeah.
The diseased body cannot live with sulfur. Sulfur gets rid of that disease.
Yeah.
For years, they tell you, don't eat the egg. You know, eat the egg white.
Yeah.
White. Everything got to be white.
That's awesome.
Y'all know I'm on this non-white thing going on right now.
Oh,
Everything is white.
Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy, thank you for being a good student. Thank you for being a believer in what I'm teaching and a follower of this. Please educate our community. I'm only one person. I'm cloning this information to our people. The only one that can save us is us.
Yeah.
We have to educate one another. So go out there, tell everyone. And you don't have to tell them to get right off their medication. You need to educate them and ask them, why are you taking it? And there is a better way. There is a way to fix this solution. And tell people they need to eat healthy. They will be healthy. Continue what you're doing, man. Thank you.
That's the thing, Doc. They've been teaching us since kids. You got to go to the doctor. You got to go to the doctor. I remember growing up.
Yeah. You know, I got to cut you off just because we got to go into a break.
That homemade, that garden in the backyard, and somebody had some kind of chemical or miracle up in the house that was natural, you was up and running back at school next week.
Yeah, natural remedies, cod liver oil. Old school.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So let's talk about this some more. Let's take a break. You know I appreciate you, Day One, Jimmy, very much. Thank you for calling in, and good luck with your weight loss. I see you. I see you. All right, we're gonna take a break.
Thanks. I hear y'all rapping. I didn't get it and get my rhyme today, but you know, all right.
Right.
I'll see y'all later.
We're gonna take a break,
right,
and then we'll be right back. This is In Your Ear Radio. I am Miss Toya. Welcome back to In Your Ear Radio. I am your host, Miss Toya. Hot mic in the building, you know what I'm saying? We getting it in over here. Listen, if you just tuning in, thank you so much for listening to In Your Ear Radio. And I just want to say to all of my listeners all over the world, I just love and appreciate y'all. A special thanks to my Day One. Y'all been riding with me since day one, and you just make me feel so warm and fuzzy. If you're listening for the first time, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like it, tell a friend. If you got a comment, a question, 702-749-9874 is the number. We got Dr. Price, our nutritionist, our health coach, life coach. I want to say you're a minister too.
Right?
Yeah, I've been classified as that.
Yeah? Okay.
It is a ministry within itself. Yeah, I line everything up with God's word.
Yeah. Okay. We were talking about alkaline water, which you kind of tied into God's word as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Saying that, you know, it's basically an abomination to drink it.
Not abomination. I won't go that deep.
That's extreme.
That's a little bit extreme because I do promote a lot of my patients and clients to drink some alkaline water when they are highly acidic. When I'm hearing them gassy and I'm hearing their breathing is in distress, I know they have a lot of acid buildup, especially hiccups, a lot of GERDs, regurgitation. A person has constant chronic acid reflux, and they're just belching all day long.
Right.
I would encourage that person, drink some alkaline water, about 9.5, 10, somewhere in there. But you want to do things in moderation and keep everything simple. and there is a time to cut off, because you can simply alkaline your water just by adding fruits to it, vegetables, anything that's a citrus.
That's infused water.
Yeah, infused water, alkaline water.
Alkaline water.
There you go. Because see, to bring oxygen back to the body.
I just thought I was getting the other nutrition.
No. To bring alkalinity back to the body, to raise that pH, or to bring oxygen back to your system. Remember, everything from the earth is oxygenated, and especially citrus. There's a husband and wife named Mr. and Mrs. Citrus.
Yeah.
They had a lot of kids. One of the oldest is Pineapple. They got an older son named Orange. They got these twins, a boy and a girl, and there's lemon and lime. So any citrus that comes into your bloodstream is going to alkaline, because all citrus has amino acid. This is a nutritional term that doctors don't understand, medical world don't understand, because they don't teach them nutrition. A lot of people that say they're dietitians and nutritionists don't even understand. Amino acid is good. When the good goes in, it's pushing out the bad acid. That's why Paul said there's a war going on in this flesh between two things. Entities is spirit. Energy is spirit. In Greek, the word energy is pneuma, which means spirit. In Hebrew, the word energy is the same word for spirit, which is ruach. And anything that's energy is spirit. Energy transfers, spirit transfers. So if metabolism is the process of turning your food into energy, it becomes spiritual. So if you're putting a lot of acidic foods into your body, you're opening up yourself for a negative energy, demonic or acidic influences to come in. Goes back to the garden. Adam and Eve, they ate something that was good and bad. They ate something good and bad. Anytime you take physics and chemistry, plus always equals plus. Negative always equals negative. A negative and a plus together has an equal outcome reaction of negative. So if you're eating something that's good, saying, hey, I'm a vegan, I'm 90% vegetarian or whatever, but I take my multivitamins, which are synthetic and man-made and fake. So you're putting a little bit of something bad into your body. It doesn't matter the size of it, a little leaven a whole lump. So there's a way that seems right to us, but it actually can lead to destruction, because we're not identifying, dissecting, what are we really trying to do? Alkaline the body or acidify the body? You can't poison yourself into health. So if you're putting things that are poisonous, toxic is acidic levels go up, toxicity levels go up, then alkalinity goes down, because you cannot have oxygen occupy your blood cells, and you cannot have acid in the blood cells at the same time. The two don't get along. You can't be good and evil at the same time. You got to be hot or cold, yes or no, white or black. It's no middle gray area when it comes to health. You're either healthy or unhealthy. So alkaline is very important, but be careful and keep it in moderation. Just keep it simple.
So with iridology, you're looking at the eyes, you're looking at my eyes, you pretty much see the blueprint to my health.
Absolutely.
My health. So once you determine what's wrong with me, let's just say, you know, God forbid, you determine I have diabetes some kind of way, however you're able to see that. What is the next step? How are you advising?
So basically, when I'm doing iridology, and once again, I want to be clear, I'm not looking for cancer. I'm not looking for high blood pressure. Not looking for diabetes. I'm not looking for any type of disease that we know that has a name to it. Because it could be called supercalifragilisticexpialidocious-itis 0.5.
It's coming down to that.
You know, it could be whatever you want to call it. It's tomato. It doesn't matter, because on a cellular level, what are we dealing with? Can you all please repeat this? Say the source of all health issues.
The source of all health issues
is one thing. Acid. So when I'm looking in the eyes, I'm looking at the damage that acid does. Remember, acid and oxygen cannot occupy the same space. So if your brain, which is controlling everything the whole time of your life, from the time you're conceived to the time you die, your brain is just like God. God said, I created man in my own image. God never sleeps. He never slumbers. What's like him? Our pineal gland. The brain never sleeps, never slumbers. So your brain, when you're asleep, what's keeping your heart contracted? You're drooling, you're slobbering on your pillow, you don't even know where you're at, you're dreaming. What's keeping your lungs contracted? What's keeping your saliva glands going? The brain. The brain is recording information at all times. The human brain, and as a neurologist, I teach this because I study neurology. I teach people the human brain has a capability of retaining 600 trillion terabytes worth of information. I will say it again. The human brain has a capability of recording 600 trillion terabytes worth of information. We could formulate a thought in a millisecond. Our brain is a supercomputer. There is nothing more powerful than the human brain on the planet Earth. This is why the brain is controlling everything of who we are mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, physically, it knows everything. If you get bit by a spider, you didn't know. You were asleep. What put that bump right there?
Yeah.
The brain allowed it to communicate with the lymphatic system and say, hey, push that venom right back out. And it itches because it's acid. Everything is acidic. Your skin is breaking out because it's acidic, but they'll call it eczema. Yeah. You have fatigue and pain. Well, pain comes from inflammation. It's a Greek word called poin, which is a penalty. You're paying a price because you put something unhealthy in your body. You created acid. Acid is inflammation. Inflammation is pain. So wherever the acid goes, whether it's in the elbow, the knees, the joints, your stomach, your chest, your head, wherever you're acidic, you're going to have pain.
Wow.
So to get rid of disease, I'm looking for the acid when I look in the eyes. Iridology accurately tells me the absorption of nutrients. It tells me the condition of every organ. If I want to see your kidney and the right kidney, I just look in the right eye. I'm looking at between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. Oh, look at your kidney, it's fine. But the doctor told me I have renal failure. The doctor told me that my kidney is functioning at 10% and I got to get on dialysis. Wow. Well, I just looked in your eye and your kidney is working.
Right.
To second the motion, can you urinate on your own? Yeah, I'm urinating, but that's not renal failure.
Yeah.
But the doctors, they told me $10,000 is that dialysis. It's a reason why they want you to go on the diet. And they drain all of your blood.
Yep.
They drain all your blood, run it through a filter, but they don't tell you that the liver is the #1 filter of the blood, not your kidneys.
Right.
Wow.
So we never mentioned liver disease, but I'm on dialysis.
Yeah.
So the iridology exam is equivalent to a full physical examination, so I get to clearly see the condition of your kidneys. If something's wrong with the kidneys, there's certain levels of markers that the brain make, from acute or subacute, acute, chronic, degenerate. And this is where you start running into what the medical world coincides and says, level 1, stage 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
You never hear nobody say, oh, I got stage 1 cancer.
Right.
That's so rare.
Right.
You always hear stage 4.
Right.
Because disease can be in the body with no symptom.
Yep.
By the time you feel your stomach hurting, and by the time you drink water and it keeps coming up, drink water, it comes up, you're nauseous, you're dizzy, you got a temperature, you run to the doctor and they say colon cancer.
Wow.
Well, when I look in the eyes, I can see from the mouth to the anus, and that's a long distance. Just from the stomach to your anus, from the small intestines, it's 5 feet long, sits on the women's uterus.
Yeah.
I'm looking in all of these ladies' eyes, and I'm telling you, this is why you have severe cramping during menstrual. This is why you have heavy flow.
You know what? I had enough sense to know that.
It's the colon.
Just knowing when I have an upset stomach, where my stomach aches lets me know that's where my colon is, and my uterus is always bothering me.
Absolutely. Small intestines, 5 foot, sits on top of the uterus, and if it's acidic, it's slow moving bowels.
Gotcha.
If your colon is acidic because of all of the chicken wings, the drumettes, they're acidic because the life of all flesh is the blood. So now if we start getting back to the source of our problem, which is acid, well, what are we putting in our bodies that's acidic? Well, when I look in the eyes, I can tell the person you're eating too much oatmeal, you're eating too many white potatoes, oh, you're drinking too much sweet tea. I didn't say sodas, I said sweet tea. People are blown away. How in the world are you looking in my eyes and telling me you are absolutely right? Because everything has a code. If you eat an apple, your cells don't know you ate an apple. If I drink this water, my cells don't know I just drank Aquafina.
But
they
what
see H2O.
Next? As an iridologist, how do you direct, if you're finding elements in your patients, how do you direct them? What are you telling them? That they
I give them a nutritional plan.
A nutritional plan.
Yeah, because disease starts with what we put in our body. So let's reverse it by putting something different in our body, more alkaline, plant-based. If you put plant-based, more alkalinity, because God said for every tree, I give you meat, that's protein. Anything that comes from the earth is protein. So if I need protein, I'm not going to do a protein shake because I know it's man-made process, it's highly acidic. And then if I want some calcium, I'm not going to take a calcium pill because that's man-made. Obviously it's acidic. So if I want calcium, I eat an orange, a pear, fig, an apple. Calcium? Natural calcium comes from nature. Nature is natural. So anytime it's man-made, it's synthetic. That's why they say all medication, all multivitamins are acidic. Don't take them on an empty stomach because it will burn a hole through the scatia, which is the lining of your colon wall. And then now you got burning, acid indigestion, you got gas, you got ulcers, you got hernia, you got all kind of problems and constipation from acid. If you're alkaline, your body runs smooth. You're having 4 and 5 bowel movements a day. Every time you eat, you poop. You eat, you poop. But when you're acidic, when you're toxic, you can eat 3 meals a day, and you don't have a bowel movement on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You got one on Thursday, and it was just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's all acid. It's acid.
You know, Dr. Price, we have so much more.
I just come back. I'll come back. I'll just come back.
This hour was
I'll come back.
you know,
I'll come back.
You know I love you for that.
Love you too,
appreciate
sis.
you. But I do want to I do want to ask you, because we're talking about nutrition. Do you ask that people take on a vegan lifestyle when they adopt nutrition?
That's a good question. That's another movement. You got this whole alkaline nation, another consciousness, and an awakening of a lot of veganism.
Yeah.
Veganism, it's very healthy, but I believe, according to the scriptures, and this is my opinion. Remember, I said
Give me the cons to
categorically. This is my philosophy. This is my opinion, my philosophy. I don't force anybody to believe anything that I do. I introduce this as water. It's up to you to drink it if you want, because it may not taste good.
That's right.
It may not taste good what I'm about to say.
Right.
I love God. As a spiritual being, first natural things, then spiritual principles.
Right.
The natural body is looking for nutrients, minerals, and vitamins that come from the earth. There is one particular element that is found in a high amount, concentrated amount. We're talking omega-3, fatty acid, amino acids, and nitrogen, which is for your heart and your brain. The highest form of that is found in fish. Travel to the healthiest nations in the world, Singapore being the healthiest nation in the world. They consume more fish than we do. Japan, China, Korea, Thailand. They live long lives, and they don't have all of these health issues. They don't have no mercury poisoning. They don't have nothing about, oh, I'm allergic to fish.
That's crazy.
Now, you look at the facts, just the facts, what your eyes can see, what you can hear, what you can touch. It is a fact that the healthiest nations are consuming a lot of fish. Asia's doing it raw. They go with that. We got some sushi. You go, I've been all over the Mideast. I've been all over. The fish that is coming out of the water that they will call hammerfish. Right out of the Mediterranean. I've been there. Out of the Persian Gulf. I've been there. You go all over Somalia, Bahrain, you go to Dubai, you go to different areas like anywhere in Africa, you go to the coast, you look at the fish that is coming out of the water. Even in the Sea of Galilee, the fish is tilapia.
I know you gotta go, but we gotta call.
Fish. So I'm against the vegan diet. Only to a certain extent.
I'm with
Christ was not a vegan. Christ was not a vegan. And if I'm gonna be Christ-like, I'm gonna eat some fish.
Bars.
Listen,
I need that.
We got a call on the line. Speaking the truth, shout out to Jimmy, who's also on Facebook Live. We want you to know you're speaking the truth, okay? Shout out to everybody on Facebook Live. We do have a call on the line. I'm Miss Toya. What is in your ear? I am in your ear. Hello. I'm in your ear, caller. What's on your mind?
Daryl, Toya, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm just calling in because I have some interest with Dr. Price. You're speaking about the alkalinity, and I want to catch before you left about the fruits we're eating. Do you think that we should only stick to seeded fruits only, and the fruits that that are not seeded are genetically made? Is that actually true?
That is an excellent question, and I love these questions. I do lectures across the nation, and I get this everywhere I go because people are concerned about seeded and not seeded, and there is this concept: if it doesn't have a seed, it's not real, and if the seed is not there, yada yada yada. You all got that. We've heard it, we've seen it. There's a big movement by a famous doctor who recently passed. I won't say his name.
I know you.
You know who I'm talking about. He's from an island in the Caribbean area, and he's been pushing. He's Facebook famous. He's YouTube famous, and he pushed. You gotta have a seed, and if this don't have a seed, it's genetically modified. It's a hybrid, and yada yada yada. But let's go back to facts. Let's get scientific on this, because there are people out there that have a platform, but they have no degree. There are people out there with platforms and they have no education. They have not studied, and anytime you leave God out of the equation, it don't matter what you say. Everything that has life, the life is in the flesh, the blood. The life of all flesh is the blood. Everything has to have a seed because God created everything. Just because you don't see it, don't mean it's there. Your sperm sir, is a seed. It has to fertilize the egg. If you just so happen to ejaculate, you don't see the 30,000 spermatozoids. They're there. You can cut open many different fruits and you don't see the seed. Where's the seed of the banana?
Right.
We see it growing on the trees. I hear this all the time, but corn don't have a seed. The kernel is the seed.
Right.
All you got to do is watch something like Queen Sugar, Ralph Angel, we bought some seeds.
I'm learning a lot off that. I learned that.
Don't eat corn. It's hybrid. It's man-made. But when there was famine in the land, we are tribal. Our skin color tells us we come from Africa. Do your research. All of Africa comes from Ethiopia. Ethiopians were the sons of Judah, Simeon, and Levi, which were the sons of Jacob. And when Jacob had 12 sons and famine was in the land, their brother Joseph gave them corn. So all of this stuff about hybrid, genetically modified, can we please go back to the Creator who is all-knowing, who is the beginning, the end, from the beginning, today, to yesterday, forevermore. The Creator says, you're not getting nothing over on me. Even when he created Adam, and it was just Adam, God, and the garden. Adam is naming everything. On that day, in his foreknowledge, God knew thousands of years from now, about 6,000 odd years from now, there's going to be some chemtrails in the air. There's going to be a company called Monsanto's because he's God. And there's going to be companies that genetically modified through nanotechnology. He's God. He says, I know that they're going to poison the land and everything that I create is good and clean. In my foreknowledge, I already know they're going to genetically modify stuff and manipulate and mess with stuff. And I said that it's good and clean. If you eat from the earth, if you eat from nature, no matter how they genetically modify it, no matter how genetically they modify anything, oh, it's poison, it's contaminated. Are you concerned about the germs that are on the table? The germs on the doorknob. You pump your gas, there are germs. There's E. coli, ptomaine, poisons. There's bacteria all around us. We're not concerned about that. Most people aren't, unless you're doing all of them hand sanitizers, which is nonsense, because that's chemicals going right into your blood. Stop doing all that stuff. But you don't have to worry because God says, worry for nothing. Be anxious for nothing. Eat the fruits, eat the vegetables. If it comes out the ground, even broccoli, even garlic. Broccoli is part of the brassica family. You talk to some of these dietitian nutritionists, they don't know this information. They didn't study botany, they didn't study health sciences like I have. They have no knowledge of what they're talking about because somebody told them. Somebody they heard said, oh, it's genetically modified, don't eat it, it's contaminated, it's going to cause problems. You got 45 pints of white cells. That right there just destroyed that whole concept about where's the seed or if it's contaminated. God says, worry about nothing. I protected you. I've supplied all your needs, and I don't need you to be anxious about nothing. Lean not to your own stupid thinking because you're willfully ignorant. Just trust me when I say go ahead and eat it. It's from the earth. It belongs in your body. Don't worry about seeing the seed. Just because they call it a seedless watermelon, it's the seeds are there. Just because they call it seedless anything, it just has a minimum amount of seed. God knew that there was going to be some babies eating it, so he didn't want them choking on the seed, so he created some things that have little amount of seed. I'm telling you, we are removing God from all of this, and this is why we have questions and we challenge. There's confusion, there's debate. Who cares? Eat it. Go back to the basics. Go back to the basic. Keep it simple. Your body knows what's right and it knows what's wrong on a cellular level. You got 45 pints of white cells, sir. And to the listener and the caller, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Please don't overanalyze life. Don't get too analytical and try and figure all of this stuff and worry about what people are doing to the soil and to the plant life and they're corrupting the ground. That's why it rains. Every time it's thunder and lightning, it rains. You got hydrogen peroxide. It purifies the land. We got sulfur everywhere. We got salt everywhere. Our bodies, our ecosystem, the social system, the solar system, God has everything under control. We don't need to worry about nothing. You don't worry when you're going to sleep about no seeds. So when you sleep, you ain't worried. And so when you wake up, you got new mercy, new grace. So how about we just enjoy the moment, eat healthy, and don't worry about all of that extra stuff, because just because you don't see seed don't mean God created it. It's from the earth. It grows. It has life. Live enzymes. These are the mysteries of the unseen thing that Paul talks about in Romans 10. 95% of the things that exist, you can't see it. Do you worry about the oxygen molecules that are around you? We can't see them, but we can breathe them in. So if the seed, you don't see it, does not mean that it is real life, because it's a live organism. It has life, and if it rots and it decays, you better believe that that's life. You put it in your body, your cells know what to do.
So caller, did he answer your question?
I hope so.
Yes, yes, you did. Absolutely. Thanks for that peace of mind.
Wow, Doctor
Thank you
blessed
so much
us
for calling
today.
in, baby boy.
Keep it simple.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So I'm gonna squeeze in 5 more minutes because I had some questions and I know
Sure.
we're gonna do this again.
Let's knock them out.
See, I mean, listen,
Bars.
that's what this platform is for. Okay? That's what this platform is for. You know what I'm saying? To get information out. And I know a lot of people are taking in a lot of information because a lot of people aren't really commenting on Facebook. That means they're listening.
They're listening?
But my Facebook
Taking
people,
notes.
they got stuff to say. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And nobody's
They just
cussing.
text me.
We
Nobody's
listening.
saying nothing.
We have a
Oh, they
square
didn't
yard.
text me talking about I'm listening.
Okay.
Right. I know that. I know
Good.
the nature of my
Let's be
listeners.
hearers and be doers.
Yeah.
Let's change the way we think.
Hearers and doers.
Repentance means change your thinking, go back to the basics. And that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
Because for the last several generations, we
Yeah.
have been conditioned
Yeah.
to think cancer and diabetes,
Right.
and we're scared because fear has torment. Okay?
So let's squeeze this caller in. I'm in your ear, caller. What's on your mind? You are live on air, caller.
Caller, you there?
Yes, Dr. Lamar.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
What's a good suggestion to help Christians to stop being afraid?
She's asking, what's the secret to stop being afraid?
Afraid of what?
What's a good suggestion to help Christians to stop being afraid?
Oh, a good suggestion to help Christians to stop being afraid.
My brother
Afraid
said,
of what?
Faith.
yeah, faith. Change your thinking. But one of the beautiful things about changing the way we think, because fear has torment. And you got to understand that fear comes from an acidic nature. Something negative is causing fear because fear is negative. So if you alkaline your body, if you start to eat healthy, once you alkaline your body on a cellular level and you're eating fruits, vegetables, nuts and grains, drinking more water, you're ridding your body of acid, then you won't think acidic. Because remember, when Adam and Eve was in the garden, and even if people don't believe in this story, it's just a good concept to think about.
Yeah.
When they were in the garden, they had dominion over everything. They weren't fear of nothing, but they ate something that was acidic. When they became acidic in their physical man, then the brain became acidic, and then they thought they were naked. So then their thinking changed, and God asked them a simple question: who told you you had cancer?
That was deep.
Who told you you had diabetes? Who told you you were vitamin D deficiency? Where are you getting this from? Because I created you perfect, not to have fear. Where are you, by the way? Why are you hiding?
Yeah.
Why are you scared? Well, if you look at your medicine, look at the side effect, look at all of these acidic foods that we're consuming, we become physically acidic, we become a mentally acidic, then thoughts of suicide, fear, trembling, paranoia, psychosis, and all of these weird things start happening to us mentally because our brain is now acidic and we are dehydrated in our brains where fear settles. And then the spirit of fear comes in.
We can start calling people crazy.
Anxiety.
We can start calling
And
them
in our community, we are not cuckoo. We can't be cuckoo. We're more than conquerors.
Right.
We are not
That
fearful. We're the blood bought, and death has no fear over us. There is no way in the world we should be living in fear unless we are acidic.
Wow.
So if you want to fix that situation,
Get rid of it.
by faith, I'm going to change, be ye transformed physically first by the renewing of my mind. We got to renew our thinking. We got to change our thinking. We got to change. Why am I afraid of this? Why am I? Oh, now I understand it. Fear has torment. Fear of the unknown. If you don't understand it, get to understand it. And then when you understand the problem or the issue, then you can calculate, you can cognitively use your brain to figure this out and trust in God, because he said don't lean on your own understanding, trust God, know that you're okay. I woke up this morning, yesterday is gone. Start forgiving yourself today. Start forgiving. In the past, forget the past. We're moving forward. Tomorrow's not promised, so why am I worrying about things?
Right.
So don't be anxious, don't have fear, and to end with this, because I know we got to move. Faith without works is what?
Dead.
Yeah.
So you cannot just say, I'm faith, I'm trusting by faith, woo, 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 yashi, 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 and all of that. You're not doing the work. The work is detox.
Yeah.
We need to detox.
Yeah.
The black community especially,
Yeah.
because we're the leaders in all health issues. We're the
look
leaders
at
in all
God.
diseases.
Look at
We
God.
are the fastest dying on the planet.
Yeah.
Look at the almanac. Look at the census report. The census says that we are the slowest in death. We're the fastest in we're the slowest in population, fastest in death. We lead in all health issues.
Yeah.
So if this be true, then let's just change our thinking. If we can use this platform to get this information out, let's start thinking different, people, us. Let's think different. Think life. Think on things that are true. Just go report virtue and praise. And then you don't have to worry about fear. You don't have to worry about being tormented.
Yeah.
Good question.
Man.
Thank you so much for calling in,
blessed me on
caller.
so many levels, I swear.
Where are you calling from, caller? I'm having trouble.
Caller, are you there?
Okay, well, thank you for calling in. I appreciate you.
I'm from Miramar, California.
Okay, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
calling
caller.
in.
Thanks for calling the family.
The family.
Family.
So, listen, I can't say enough. I know.
somebody just texted me, clear the line. I'm trying to call.
Oh, Lord. Listen.
Clear the line.
Listen, the questions are coming in. I have to take this
You want to
call.
squeeze one in or a question? Ooh.
Let me go ahead and let them ask some
Okay.
questions, then I'll wrap
Okay.
it up with my
All right.
question. Okay, caller, real fast. What's on your mind? I got Dr. Lamar Price in the building.
Well, I just called to thank Dr. Price. Listen, I'm on that road to learning about nutrition as well, and I like what he has to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you had him back on the show again.
Yeah.
And I personally am going to follow this young man because I like what I like his fire. I like his spirituality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like everything that he's doing. So thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Continue your work. Yes.
To God be the glory. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. That's on that Trucker Mike.
Yeah.
Check him right.
Trucker Mike, that's one on day
Trucker Mike.
one.
Yeah,
So-
people can reach me on Instagram at Dynamic Health Solutions, and then they can, yeah, definitely, they can meet me on, they can find me on Facebook at Lamar Edward Price, or either Dynamic Health Solutions, either one, and then you could Google my name. I have so many people.
Yeah.
I say, okay,
Yeah.
That's why you would need
how'd you
to
find me?
Google,
They said
yeah.
I Googled your
That's
name.
nice.
Yeah.
You Google my
You
name
Googled
and you actually found me. So go to the book of Google, chapter 1,
Yeah.
verse 2. You will find me. You will find me.
Google.
Yeah, Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
type
That's
Lamar
Google.
Edward Price.
I'm in
and
there.
then it's okay to give out my number.
Yeah, your
I can give
number.
out my business line, and if you're ready, it's 424-274-2016. 424-274-2016. Call me with your questions. Reach out to me. We're all family. We're all going to stick together on this.
Yeah.
I believe if we unite, we're strong.
Yeah.
But if we're divided as a people,
Can't get nowhere.
man, they got us. They got us.
Yeah.
And they are using the medical world to destroy us right in our faces. So I want to educate the community not to condemn the doctors in the hospitals and modern tech. Listen, we're in this world, but we don't have to be of it.
Yeah.
We don't have to be included in these numbers of diabetes and high blood pressure. Let's change our eating habits.
Right.
Let's change the way we think. Let's think life. Let's think strength, virtue, prosperity, so we can educate these young women how to dress, young men how to dress, how to teach the woman is the baddest piece on the chessboard, which is the queen. The woman is a lioness. And this is why the black woman is under attack, because she is the lioness.
Yeah.
But I just want to, again, just let you know that I'm so grateful for you today to come here and share this information with our listeners, with me. I think we all, I mean, hell, I ain't got to go to church tomorrow. Not that I go.
Oh, we can
I'm just
have
saying,
church
I
right
got
now.
the word today.
Yeah, and you got to keep in mind, when Christ came on the scene, he said, I don't want this brick and mortar anymore. I don't want all of this nonsense and this rudiments of men and all of this religious stuff to be ragi, which is regular, which in Hebrew means to be religious. Just like it comes, see, English comes from Latin, Latin comes from Greek, the Aramaic, and all of these other languages. It gets all the way back to Hebrew. But when you get back to the principle, why are black people in America only the monolinguistic people on the planet? We only know one language. We don't know our tribal languages, so we don't know that in our tribal most cases, in our tribal languages, there is no word for diabetes, blood pressure, and cancer. This is American terminology, which comes from the Latin, just like the word cancer is Greek, just like diabetes is Greek. Diabetes mellitus means pass the sugar. So if we could start talking to people about, go to a restaurant and scream out diabetes mellitus, see if the waiter don't bring you some sugar. It has nothing to do with our pancreas causing all of these symptoms, this high blood pressure nonsense, all of this rhythm of the heart, it changes. We are just going cuckoo, we are going crazy, and then they put us on all these drugs and nobody pays attention to the side effect. And did the doctor ever say, go home, drink some water, and eat an apple?
All right, y'all. That's Dr. Lamar Price.
Told you don't let me
We're
lose.
going to take a break. Listen, we'll be back. This is In Your Ear Radio. Hey, welcome back to In Your Ear Radio. I am your host, Miss Toya, chilling with my day one crew. I got Miss Trish and S to the Izzo in the building. Thank you guys for listening to In Your Ear Radio. You know I love and appreciate y'all. Follow your girl on Instagram at In Your Ear LV. That's where I'm most active at. I do have a Twitter that's In Your Ear Radio. Facebook group is In Your Ear Radio. Twitter is In Your Ear.
Twitter is Miss Toya.
Miss Toya In Your Ear. See, I knew that. I'm just checking to see if she knew. All right, y'all. Let's get our rant in. I gotta say another special thanks to Dr. Lamar Price.
Yes.
We did not want him to leave. It was hard to stay on schedule.
Man, really?
He will be back. You know, he's all. You know,
We'll
he's
see him
always
tonight.
welcome. Yes, and tonight he will be open to the public. So if you guys want to go check it out here, if you're in Las Vegas, come out. It's located at 7688 Blue Diamond. Again, 7688 Blue Diamond, low power. Blue Diamond Road. So he'll be available to, you know, he's gonna be just giving you the real, just like you heard here, between 5 and 8:30 tonight. He's also doing eye exams. So if you wanna,
Those are $100.
yeah, there is a fee. So if you wanna get your eyes checked out and you wanna get your health in order, find out what's wrong with you, and find out, you know, nature-based ways to get that together. Let's get that together. Listen, I'm just gonna go in. I got a few things we need to talk about. One of the things I'm just gonna bring up right off the top is that, which I found interesting that people were, you know, had something to say about it, was, number one, okay, I'm gonna slow down because now
Got something on your chest you gotta get off?
Woo, woo, woo.
You're trying to get some stuff up off your chest.
Yeah, and I need to slow down. We got to get this all in. So I want to talk about, you know, the article I read talking about breastfeeding. That breastfeeding is now legal in 50 states.
I think that's great.
Yeah, you think it's great?
I do.
I think it's great too.
Kids gotta eat.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, it's nice. Got milk, need milk. It's what God put in our bodies. I'm sure
It's
God
natural.
He has something to say about that too, right? But you know,
Is it
I would
acidic?
No.
It can be.
Well, I guess if the mom is
Yeah, it depends on the
acidic
body.
stuff, yeah.
The mom's
Yeah, it
head.
depends on the body. So this bill just passed after the language was removed about whether a woman's breast was uncovered to simply state that women are permitted to, quote unquote, I'm putting up air quotes, any breastfeed in any place of a public accommodation. So there was a rule that said you couldn't be exposed when you breastfeed, and now there's no verbiage that says you can or cannot be. So literally you can just whip it out and give your baby, you know, their breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or a snack, and not be covered up.
Right.
Now, for me, personally, I kind of don't like that, because I think it's a time and a place for it, and I think, you know, with the American culture, everybody's not mixed with it. I do agree that you should be able to cover your, you know, breastfeed anywhere in public, in a restaurant, at church, at home, at school, whatever you need to do to feed your baby. It's a natural thing. But like whipping out the boob, now we got to give health lessons to our kids, and some of us, you know, teach our kids at different rates. I'm just saying, Doctor.
Some of our kids is at the explorer stage.
Some of these no child left behind.
Do you
Yeah.
want my son really feeling a certain type of way about you?
Yeah.
While you feeding your baby?
Yeah.
Just saying.
I want to know how you guys feel about that, listening and watching on Facebook Live. The number is 702-749-9874 if you want to chime in on the conversation. But, you know, I just thought it was interesting that a lot of people, even in the office, in the seats, they kind of were going back and forth about it. They didn't really feel comfortable with it. You know, like the Utah Republican Rep, Kurt Webb, he complained during a hearing that a lack of cover-up could lead to immodesty.
I
Immodesty.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what that means. Break that down.
Lack of decency.
Okay, just
yeah.
saying, yeah.
But here's the thing. So my thing is, I don't care.
Mhm.
I think that it's great. I think
Yeah.
it's a wonderful thing. I think women should be able to feed their children
Yeah.
wherever they are, because you don't know when your
Yeah.
child is going to get hungry. I just think that they should cover up.
Yeah.
Now, they don't have to, but here's the thing. There are some people that are going to say things, look at you a certain type of way, you know, whatever. And those feelings that you feel from that person saying or looking at you a certain type of way, those feelings go, it's transferred to your child.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. Do you really want your child to experience these negative comments that people might have? Because you're going to feel a certain type of way about it.
Yeah.
And you're transferring those feelings to your child. So just cover your ass up
Yeah.
and feed your baby. It's a done deal.
That's what I think. You want to chime in on that, Esther Izzo?
I mean, they can show them things. I mean,
Really? In real life?
I mean, I kind of feel where you coming from, though, Toy. Like, I kind of feel a certain way. Like, you know, I think people gonna push that envelope and push that line, like how far they can go. Like, I don't want to be at a concert and then you breastfeed because I'm like,
well, that's what I'm saying. No, you can breastfeed anywhere.
Where's the limits?
You know, some people's argument is with exposing your boob is that we're a sexualized society, so we don't look at the boob. You know, the man is looking at the boob like he probably lusting while you feeding your baby.
So he looking like, can I get some of that?
With your boob out, you know.
Yeah, be ready for that.
Yeah.
But you know, is that really our fault that we're so sexualized? But it goes to me, it does go back to the culture. Not to say that I'm thinking perverted things or a person is thinking perverted. It's just a level of decency. I'm kind of with that immodesty thing, like just to protect those around you. You know, I like to live my life where, you know, I'm gonna do me. You know what I'm saying? But I don't live my intentions are never to offend anyone. So like that's why I don't play certain music around certain people that may not, you know, I wouldn't play NWA with my grandmama, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, not that
same sort of concept.
So that's how I look at it.
Right?
Yeah.
Just in American culture, you can go a lot of other places in the world and it's nothing. Women don't even wear bras in some places and it's nothing. But we would look, we talk about people that walk out the house without their bra. Where your drawers? Where your drawers?
We shamed them.
We shamed them. We played a shame game. So okay. Yeah, so that's breastfeeding. And speaking of shame, you know, we kind of go in about the shame every day, every Saturday.
Some people need to be shamed.
Some people need to be shamed to do better.
Yeah, it's always some drama going on.
Yeah.
Can't live while being black.
Yeah.
Just breathe.
Listen, we talked about it last week. I shared other people's points of view. Some people think that these people that are barbecue baggies, people calling in and whatever they're doing, that's just their nature. It don't have nothing to do with the color of your skin. You could be a white person or another culture, and they would do the same thing. They just want their way, and they feel like the police should be able to do that. And then you have other people that say no, it's literally it's a black thing, because if you look at the incidents with the pool, everybody else is white. A black family comes in here and you single them out because you think you want to make sure they shower
because he got his socks on.
Yeah. You know, you have a black kid at cutting the line, like you're not used to seeing black people. A black man trying to go into his own house can be arrested. I've heard so many different stories in the paper about that. So, you know, we like to shame folks, and we always happy when they lose their jobs and they start crying on TV saying, you know, they're not racist. But that makes us happy because we feel like there's justice.
Yeah, we can't get justice in the justice system.
Yeah,
so.
what about the lady that was in the grocery store? What y'all think about that? The black girl was on the phone. I guess
having her own personal conversation.
It was a conversation
about selling her EBT
she was
card.
And
the girl and the lady called and snitched on her. I see.
Yeah, she called the police, and then this is how you know people are ignorant though. But she told the white lady, got into the conversation and basically said, "Do you have the clip?"
I don't have it.
You don't have it. Okay, so she basically said to that's illegal or whatever. And she said,
mind your business.
Yeah, basically, why you in my conversation? And she said, you ain't bottom? Like, you know, get back. But the lady was hinting that she wanted to build a wall. We're gonna build a wall and just end somebody else's business.
She just want to say something racist too. I mean, wrong group, whatever.
If she would have went to the next level, because you know when you get heated, sometimes you know hands just start flinging and somebody gets cold cocked. Right. But you know, that part. Then she would have been in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, really in real life, like, why are you bothering that lady? Like, I don't understand. Listen. There's a lot in the news. Charlamagne, this Me Too thing is turning into its own monster.
Yeah, it is.
I feel sorry for a lot of men. When men first started saying that, everybody looking like, man, did I do something inappropriate? Right. I was like, why would you think that? I don't think that. Like, have I ever? I know.
Apparently not. This was 17 years ago.
17 years ago when this incident happened. But,
well, it was 17 years ago, and she's still alive, so it's in her memory bank.
So I mean, but at what point is there closure?
What do you mean by what is
statute
closure?
of limitations?
What is closure?
There is statute of limitations on everything.
But it was settled. He didn't even go to court. I mean, he settled for. I think break down the whole story.
Well, basically, Charlamagne, I think he was 22. She was underage at the time.
She was 15.
Again,
no, not underage.
I don't know how old she was. So I was just,
She was 15.
15.
So let's get this.
So basically, like he said, as I said, 17 years ago, him and his friends hung out with some girl. The girl at the time. She said her friend said that whatever they drink tasted like soda. I'm gonna get the right word. She said soda, right? Mm. She said it tasted like soda. Next thing she know, she woke up, and her friend was crying, saying she had been raped. Her parents, accused Charlamagne. Charlamagne took a charge for minor delinquency of a minor. That was the charge that laid upon him.
Well, you gotta put in there that she was being uncooperative at that time.
She was being uncooperative at that time.
He was being cooperative.
Yeah.
She was not being cooperative.
Yeah.
So they were like, well, we can't charge him if you're not going to be cooperative.
That's right. That's a good point, because her mom just came out recently saying that, she felt like she had it was part of her doing that her daughter was being uncooperative. Right. And that's why they brought it back.
And they did take, do a rape kit.
From
they
what
took DNA.
Yes.
They took
Yes.
DNA from her, vaginally, anally, orally, all that. And so she said that she never got the results of that. But
she never got the results?
She never got the results of, if his DNA matched the DNA in her. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just because it was his party. It was at his place. And he was like, if anything happened where I was at, I take responsibility for whatever happened. I don't know. I didn't do it, but
I looked it up, and from what he said was, it was a party going on. It was a group of guys he was with or whatnot. He left the party. While he left, the underage girls took some drinks. He left to go get some weed. Well, it is what it is. He left to go get some weed. While he left to get some weed, that was in a dark room. While they was in the dark room, she was having sex with another guy, and all she remembered was the guy whispering in her ear, "Don't worry, I'm Charlemagne." Oh. Charlemagne comes back, she holler rape, they press charges or whatnot. He comes in, he cooperated with the cops, they got a DNA test, he didn't go through. So instead of going back and forth with the legal matter, he pleaded to a lesser charge.
Yeah. Which is the delinquency of a minor.
And
within the last 24 hours, there was news that his DNA was not in her
rape kit.
Okay, so just to take you guys back even more, I'm going to play a couple of clips, because what's really getting him in trouble now, I think, SO was mentioning it was 17 years ago. Why is she bringing it up now? I've never been a rape victim.
I was bringing up, when is there closure and when is the statute? Is there a time limit on bringing up past?
Oh yeah, there is. So he can't really be charged at this point for rape.
I guess if he goes Supreme Court.
Well, he settled.
That's why. Well, the judge, the lower court said no, they were not going to bring up charges, and now it went to the Supreme Court. So I don't know where it stands now.
Right.
But he kind of aggravated the situation. This tape surface that he did, prior, talking about Spanish fly. So let's play this clip. And basically, I think this probably helped her, like, kind of just wanna
it was a trigger, I think.
Go there. Yeah, it was a trigger. And I
don't like that, because I listened to his Brilliant Idiots podcast.
Yeah.
And the context of what they were saying, it had nothing to do with that. It looked like a money. I felt.
Well, let's listen to it, because I don't know. You're saying.
The context they were talking about, like rape culture, things that were happening in the 90s, like singing songs and everything was part of rape culture as a whole. And then I think that conversation was brought up. Things we didn't know that was part of rape culture, you could look back now like, wow, that's a part of rape culture.
Okay, so let's play the clip, and here it is. I always have stuff on off, but I'm trying to get it on. Okay, here we go. So let's play the clip now. Let's go back from the beginning, y'all.
I remember a scenario in Murphy Beach, South Carolina. I got this girl real drunk, and I fought with her.
Parental discretion about it.
I got her drunk. I went to the sex store and got Spanish fly. Oh, so you raped her? Shut up. Spanish fly. They sell it in the sex store. I'm telling the truth. They sell it in the Spanish store. I had to fucking. They sell it in the sex store too. You can put that to a girl's throat. Yeah, that's sex. That doesn't mean it's illegal. So I put the Spanish fly in the ENJ. We drinking the ENJ and shit. So in my mind, I don't know if this shit really worked, but I felt like I got horny as a motherfucker too. So she was drunk as shit, and we had sex and shit, and like. A lot of my boys was trying to come in the room and fuck her. I'm like, nah, shit, like, I can't, not doing that. I'm like, put you on a dream. That's rape. Okay, so this was one-on-one, it ain't right. Yeah, so the next morning she wakes up. And we talk about it. And she's like, what happened? Like, we had sex. She said, okay, well, I'm glad it was you. Then a couple days later, she's like, yo, you sure only had sex with you? And one of my stupid ass cousins was going around saying he fucked her, which he didn't. I know for a fact I was there the whole time. He did not fuck her. He looked kind of naked, but he didn't fuck, right? So I'm telling her, no, me and you just had sex, nobody else did nothing. So it just was weird that she was like, oh, I'm just glad it was you. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I'm like, you could have been in a real bad situation if it was another motherfucker. Man. A girl just said, yo, at least you raped me. I didn't rape her.
Isn't that something?
I did not rape her. Hey, if it was any of your cousins.
What are y'all thoughts on that? Does it sound like she was raped?
Here's my thing. My question is that about this girl or is that about his wife?
Those are two separate
It sounds like a
things.
random
I know
girl.
it's two separate things.
That was
So
a
I'm trying
random
to
thing.
figure out: is he talking about the Spanish Fly incident? Is that the one with his wife?
No, the one with the wife was different. He was saying he was talking to her for a year. She wouldn't give him none.
Right.
She wouldn't give him none. They went out one night. They got drunk. They both wound up having sex. The next day, she was like, "Yo, did we have sex?" He said, "Yeah." His point of view was it took her being relaxed and being calm and being drunk and having sex. Looking back at it now, could that be considered rape?
I don't know. I'm a little confused because I think that was about his wife.
That one wasn't.
Right.
The other one was about the dating for a year. Yeah, that was about his wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. What do y'all think? 702-749-9874 for those watching on Facebook Live. Do y'all think that was rape? This girl she said, literally it sounds like they were drugged. And it sounded, she didn't even know what
she
was
said,
happening.
"I'm glad it was you." I don't know too many people do.
Because remember, he said when he walked in the room, he reassured her by saying it's Charlemagne. So he said it like he was somebody special. So versus Joe Blow coming in a room and touching me, if you come in the room and say I'm Nas, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's how I took it. Like he said it like he was a celebrity, he was somebody, he was good, you know.
Well,
but in essence, she kind of did know him based on him being famous.
Right.
So that's how I think he took it, like a level of arrogance with Charlemagne. You know what I'm saying? Like, what difference does that make? Unless you're saying that y'all was together.
He was in South Carolina. He was on a radio show.
I've always known him. He's been around for a minute.
He's been around for a minute.
Yeah.
He was local in South Carolina.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that, and I wanted to even go into what R. Kelly has a new song, 19-minute song.
19 minutes? Too long. Called Admit.
Oh my goodness.
And he admits everything but what we really want to hear.
Yeah. So, that was a trip. So Charlemagne did speak up and he said that, he was wrong basically for, taking rape lightly, and that he said he did not rape anyone, but he knew that he was being basically he was being insensitive by talking about it in the way that he talked about it, like it was taken out of context, and that's what it was. But R. Kelly, he's been being accused of rape since day one.
Multiple times.
Oh my gosh. R. Kelly, Russell Simmons, now he's about to leave the country.
About to leave. He's gone.
Yeah.
Russ is in Dubai chilling.
Shut up. Really?
And there is no extradition back to the U.S. I don't think we'll see him anymore.
So he pulled, I'm not gonna say, it's not the same situation, but he got up out of here. So he's selling all of his assets and he's gone.
Wow.
So he really thought he was going down.
I'll just tell y'all this. I have deleted my R. Kelly playlist from Spotify. Yeah.
Wow.
I can't. I listened to the 19-minute song twice.
Yeah.
And there's no way in the world that I could support a man like that. I can't. I have a daughter.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
And I think he should be castrated.
So did you listen to the song? So did he admit? I haven't listened to it.
It's too long.
He admit that he broke.
And it's not good.
He admit that he at rock bottom. He admit that he don't own his publishing to his music.
He admit he can't read.
He admit that he messed with older and younger women. He admit that he pulled people's hair while they, he admitted a lot of stuff.
Okay. So, all right. Well, it's a lot of Me Tooing going on around here. I'm just saying, a lot of people are coming out the closet. And some people, the first argument they have is when these women are talking about these situations is that, it was a different culture. So when someone says this tomorrow and it happened in 2018, are we still going to say the culture was different? Because the thing is, a lot of the defense for these men or anyone who's, being accused is that the body language was there. They figured if we drinking and we laying in the bed, or you agreed to go to a sex store with me or whatever, that's where it was supposed to go. Like, you knew this is what's going to happen. And I'm just going to tell you, if you're raising sons, If you're raising daughters, teach your daughters to be assertive and to know to say yes or no. You know, you're just meeting somebody, you need to let them know, don't play no game, it ain't no hard to get thing. If you don't feel comfortable, don't do it. If you feel comfortable, make that clear. And men, boys, you need to ask the question. You need to ask, is it okay for me to do this? Is it okay for me to do that? Because you're just getting to know this person, so you can't just go off body language. People get scared, you don't know who's intimidated. You know, sometimes, I mean, I think, you know, in situations where you with someone, and, you know, it's a lot of scary people. I mean, I wouldn't let nobody punk me, but it's a lot of scary people out there to where you feel like you're around somebody who's bigger and stronger than you, and they're being aggressive, that you're just going to go with the flow so you can stay alive and not get hurt, versus saying no, because then whatever. So the guy's saying, well, she didn't say no, so she must have wanted it. And that's not always the case. And then later on, these women grow up and they get some sense. You know, and they like, wait a minute, you know, I've been traumatized my whole life. I've been addicted to heroin because I've been so scarred by being raped and nobody to talk to and to tell. And now I need to put this all over the news so that people can know that this person should be shamed. I'm just saying, you know, long roundabout way. Okay, so another thing.
And if you are a mother and your child has told you this, go to the fullest extent of the law.
Yeah.
Do not be... you know, oh, I didn't want to put her through more than what she could handle. Believe me, she needs to get that off of her chest when it happens, not 17 years later.
I think the language got to be shifted. You can't call it rape culture. I think it should be called sexual assault culture, because everything doesn't transcend into full-blown rape. And I think you're kind of lowering the quality. You're lowering the power of a person that's being raped by labeling everything rape culture. So sexual assault culture would be grinding on a girl in teenage parties 20 years ago, freaknik, things of that nature. That didn't really necessarily translate to full-blown rape, but it was sexual assault. So there's a difference between the two.
So what she said, because she got rubbed on?
No, a lot of women got raped.
A lot of women got raped, but when you label everything as rape, you're taking away the power of when women that are really raped being raped.
So he's saying grinding on somebody or grabbing their booty. Y'all saw that video that went viral where that guy touched her blood and she handled him?
Tupac was charged with sexual assault. It wasn't rape.
Right.
It was sexual assault. There's a difference. Tupac got charged with sexual assault. He got charged and convicted for grabbing the girl butt. That was sexual assault. That wasn't rape. They was trying to pin him with rape. But it's sexual assault. There is a difference. So you got to change the language, because everything can't be.
She was partners, kind of like the Charlemagne story.
Yeah, she was raped. He was charged with
but he wasn't. He said he wasn't.
He didn't do the raping, so to speak. Rest in peace.
Okay.
So I think it's a different. It's just the language. It's the language of everything. And we didn't know. A lot of people didn't know. I didn't know singing ain't no fun at the homies can't have none. It's part of rape culture or sexual assault culture, or whatnot. Now that I know that, it's eerie to sing that song, even though it is one on my favorite album all time. But it's. You move, you learn, you know better, you do better.
Listen, we're going to get more into this next week. What I want to talk about is, since we're talking about people who feel entitled, is America. Is white America feeling entitled? I mean, this guy just got off on a stand your ground charge. We're, shooting a man in a parking lot over a handicap space. So we're going to talk about that next week, because we didn't get a chance to get into that. I want to say rest in peace to Nia Wilson. Ronald Lee Kidwell was apprehended peacefully and taken into custody for slitting her throat and stabbing her sister as well. So Nia lost her life to some random person. So again, next week I also want to talk about, is there something low-key going on? Are they really trying to incite a race war? Are there people that are getting together and,
been getting together,
doing it? Are they really trying to get us riled up to where we're on the defense and we start fighting each other and we have some race civil war going on around here? When we'll talk about it next week, because I definitely wanted to dig into that. We didn't get to get into that conversation. I do want to again say thank you to Dr. Lamar Price, and you guys head out to, if you're in Las Vegas, head out to 7688 Blue Diamond Road. Get your eyes checked out. I'm going to be able to tell you about your whole body. 5 to 8:30 tonight. Shout out to Classified Hair. And listen, if you're in the Detroit area and you're hungry, go get you something to eat at Los Chapos. They're located right on 11 miles. So if you're hungry, you want something to eat, and you're in the Detroit area, I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. If you like delicious Mexican food, that is a place to go. Los Chapos, they're at loschapos.com as well. I'm Miss Toya. Thank y'all so much for tuning in today. Miss Trish, you want to say anything before you get up out of here?
Y'all, I hope y'all realize we are literally all we have.
Yeah.
And we got to stick together and we got to be one, y'all, for real.
That's true. As to the Izzo, what you want to say before you get up
Stay
out of here?
blessed, don't stress.
Stay blessed, don't stress. I heard that. And you know, as usual, thank you so much for tuning in to In Your Ear Radio every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. I love and appreciate y'all for it. We'll be back next week. Love you.